Hey everybody, Frugal Farmer here. This is Jackie Gleason playing Buford T Justice in Smokey and the Bandit. Well, as some of you may or may not know, I live on the North South Carolina line, was raised here. My mama's people are all from South Carolina. Well, South Carolina sheriff's deputies, police, state troopers, they kind of were like Buford T Justice. And I've had encounters with him. You keep your mouth shut and you just say, yes, sir. Well, my car that I had in college was being rebuilt. So my daddy had an extra car, and it was an old South Carolina State Trooper car he'd bought at auction. And it got like 50 miles or 50 feet to the gallon. It was old Ford LTD, and that thing would flat fly. And I spooked my friends with it. I'd pull up in their driveway, and I'd knock on the door, and I'd say, well, whose car is that? They knew it was a cop car. It tore their nerves up. Well, I got pulled in South Carolina one night. I was in the next county over. That man went to writing me tickets and wrote me tickets. I clicked up to about $500. I didn't have $500. Wouldn't have $500. And he asked me, he said, you got $500? I said, no, sir. He said, you ever been to jail? I said, no, sir. And he said, well, son, he said, you're in a lot of trouble. I said, yes, sir. I said, I explained to him my car was in the shop and this was a borrowed car. He said, well, it's still your responsibility. I said, yes, sir, I realize that. So what I did, he told me to go see the magistrate the next day. And you got to understand, South Carolina courts, they're kind of a little bit different. And still to this day, they're a little bit different. So I go see the magistrate, show him everything, explain my case to him, which I was supposed to go to court with him. I told him, I said, sir, I don't have this kind of money. I explained to him it was a borrowed vehicle, and I'm sorry that all that happened. I said, but, you know, I didn't know what to do. He looked at me. He said, you got $10 on you? I said, yes, sir. He said, let me hold that $10. Give me all them tickets. And so I don't know what happened to those tickets to this day, but they never came back to bite me or anything. And on another note, I got pulled, it's been a few years ago. I had to go to court again, same county in South Carolina. So I walk in there, I'm standing around, this guy in a suit, he said, who are you? You know, he's kind of arrogant about it. And he was talking to this guy, had on a Harley jacket and boots and all, and there was a Harley outside, so I assumed that guy rode the Harley in there. And I said, well, who are you, sir? And they don't call them district attorneys in South Carolina, they call them solicitors. And he said, I'm a solicitor. And I didn't know. I said, what are you soliciting? He said, where are you from? I said, North Carolina. He said, you know, as a DA. I said, oh, sir. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I'm not familiar with y'all's system down here. So I showed him my ticket, and he looked at it. And he said, well, he said, we're going to have you pay a little fine today. And I said, well, how much is the fine? And it was, again, it, you know, was less than what I was. And I said, yes, sir. I said, he said, you got cash on you? I said, I sure do, sir. And I said, and I was kind of worried. I was wanting to get a judge to sign off on this. And I said, will the judge approve? Well, who would be the judge but this guy with the motorcycle boots and leather jacket and all riding Harley? He said, this is the judge right here. Do you approve, sir? He said, yes, sir. I said, well, I appreciate it, sir. I said, I appreciate y'all's time. And you don't get a lippy because you'll end up on the P farm. And matter of fact, a friend of mine, sorry about that. He was down at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Got locked up, and somebody was getting married, one of his relatives and all. And he couldn't really get up with nobody. Finally, they tracked him down, realized he was locked up. They was fixing to send him out to the pea farm that next morning to start picking peas because he couldn't make bond. And once they found out, they went down there and got him back home. And it was kind of good he got locked up because he sobered up for the wedding. And he was supposed to be a groomsman or something in there. But they don't play down in South Carolina. And there was one other situation. We were down there, and we were young men. And there was 6 of us rented a house down there. One of the guys I really didn't like. I knew him since I was 5 years old. Didn't like him then, and still I hadn't seen him in years. But he was just that type of individual you just couldn't help but not like. Well, ended up he got down on the boardwalk down at the beach when they used to have the pavilion down there. They had a vacant lot, and he was locked up on that lot. They had him on a cow chain, and all they wanted was you pay a certain fee, and you're off the cow chain. You don't come back. And they make big money with that. Well, he needed a certain amount of money to pay, and nobody really had it. So they come up to me and say, hey, man, you got to give, money to help him. I ain't got to give no money. I said, is he going to pay us back? He said, well, we'll figure all that out. I said, no, there ain't no figuring all that out. I want to know about my money. So I ended up, I didn't help the guy, and I don't think he would have helped me either, but I knew better than get in trouble in South Carolina. Thanks for stopping by. Come back again when you will. Share, comment, like, hit that subscribe button. God bless.